Sandra here. Did you know that you don't have to have yeast from the store to make awesome bread? You just need time, patience, flour, and water. And since nowadays most people have time, maybe not patience, maybe not all of us have some flour, but I think most of us have a little bit of flour at home and some water, you can make your own sourdough starter. Sourdough starter is just basically catching your own yeast. I added to this container right here 1/4 of a cup of water and 1/4 of a cup of plain all-purpose flour. And all I'm doing right now is mixing it with this really cool chopstick that I have that has a little spoon at the end of it. I love me some wooden products. Now, I'm using plastic. You can use glass. I would not use a metal spoon or a metal container just because it reacts a little bit. You want your sourdough to be as potent and as bubbly and as strong as possible. And metal, depending on what's in your metal, depending on what country it came from, might have some things that it'll react with and it won't be as strong. So try and stay away from metal bowls. I like glass and I happen to be using plastic. So I mixed 1/4 of a cup of flour, 1/4 of a cup of water. I'm done. That's it for 12 hours or 24 hours, whichever you choose. I'm gonna put some plastic wrap over the top loosely. And then I'm gonna take a toothpick, and I'm gonna poke about 10 holes. Use a toothpick, not a big dowel like this, because we wanna make sure that we don't get little fruit flies in there, because what's happening with flour and water is it's creating sugars, but not sweet sugars. And we don't want to attract moths, especially when it's cold outside. So that is all sourdough is, except you're gonna wait 1 day, and then you're gonna take half of this out and you're gonna throw it into the trash. Do not throw it into your sink. Please don't throw it into your sink. It will clog up your pipes. Ask me how I know. So you're gonna take half of it out and you're gonna add another 1/4 of a cup of flour and another 1/4 of a cup of water, and you're gonna stir that around. You're gonna put that same plastic back over it, and you're gonna do that for 5 days in a row, every day. You're not gonna refrigerate it. You're not going to blow on it. You're not going to set it someplace where it's too warm, and you're not going to set it someplace where it's too cold, and you're definitely not going to set it next to anything if you're brewing kombucha or if you're doing any what are those things that I make all the time? I forgot what they're called all of a sudden. The little grains. Kefir. You don't want to put these near the kefir. Those yeasts will sometimes can cancel each other out. So I would say at least 10 to 15 feet apart. Otherwise, you can do it in the same room. Just don't put them right next to each other. You don't want a brewing station with a bunch of different things fermenting, which is what this is. It's just fermenting flour and water. Sourdough is a prebiotic. You're going to see bubbles on this by the next day. It's really, really fantastic. You don't have to use yeast. The power of the flour and the water fermenting over the next few days is what's going to raise your bread. And it is divine and delicious. Now, I'm telling you, it is not going to taste like the San Francisco bread. Here's why. They're by the ocean and they have their own yeasts in their air that are very different from something over here. Just like you can't eat a bagel from New York in California. You can try and make a New York bagel, but it's something about the water and something about the air and the way it's risen over there that makes those bagels taste the way that they taste. It will be sour, your bread, but it won't be sour unless you're making it every single day. But it will be delicious, and know that it is a prebiotic. It is a pre-digested food, great for your gut and great for your constitution. A lot of people who can't tolerate regular bread can tolerate sourdough because it's yeast free. And so it does the burping for you ahead of time. Whereas if you eat bread with yeast in it, if you try to stay away from yeast, because it creates a lot of gas and it makes people feel upset. Sourdough doesn't do that. Anyway, that's all you do. Once again, I'm going to reiterate. 1/4 a cup of flour or a 1/2 cup, but I do a small amount because I don't want sourdough coming out of my ears. 1/4 a cup of water, 1/4 a cup of flour, mix, plastic, put the holes in it, wait a day. The next day, take half out. Put in another 1/4 cup of water, another 1/4 cup of flour. mix it around, put the plastic back over it, wait another day. Do that for 5 days. I will see you in 5 days. My PSA for the day is be kind. Be careful what you buy on Amazon. Some of these people are buying things at the dollar store and selling hand sanitizer for $70. You can use regular bar soap to clean your hands. Hot water will do a better job than nothing. And make sure that you are washing your hands a lot, and but not to the point to where you're going to get, rashes on your hands. Be kind to yourself, okay? And any of those people that are selling products to unsuspecting people who are really, really worried right now, if you're selling them for any more than double what you paid for it, may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your nether regions. There, I said it. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. Make yourself some sourdough. More videos to come. Ciao.